Yeah.
Straight like that.
Hey, Suave.
Yeah.
It's holiday time. 'Tis the season. Let's do another tournament.
You ain't gonna hear me argue about it.
Broken Pencil Booking Company, pro wrestling podcast, and radio show infused with hip hop hits you off with a classic tournament here. Who is the GOAT IC champion? Intercontinental champion for WWE? Suave Burgundy, myself.
A BPBC Tournament Series presentation.
Original. What up, Amazon? What up, Play More Podcast? Hey!
You feel me? You feel me? They welcomed us in with open arms.
This is the first tournament that we get to give to the Amazon crowd in its original form without them having to, grab it from the archive. So, welcome.
Pull up on the gang on Amazon Music if you have not done so already. Shout out to @PlayMorePod. Shout out to @Amazon Music.
We got to update the link.
Shout out to Kate for that email. That email was fire.
Yeah, we got to update the link too, Swab, so everybody had the propers with the get down.
Don't worry about it. We go in there. We put the fire on the fire.
Live. So we kind of had an idea what we wanted to do with this. We love random tournaments, so we're gonna do a random tournament. There's been how many total IC champions have there been? That's Googleable in this very moment.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. How many IC champions?
Our local statistician, Suave Burgundy, ladies and gentlemen.
There been in WWE. As of December 6th, 2021, there have been 142 recognized reigns between 54 recognized champions
54.
and 11 recognized vacancies. There are 4 reigns, 2 people, and 2 vacancies that are not recognized by WWE.
Okay, good conversation piece. Run those right this second. All right, so Suave, answer me this. How many Intercontinental Champions have there been?
There have been 87 different Intercontinental Champions.
That's a hell of a stat there, sir. 87 different ones?
87 different Intercontinental Champions.
Wow. All right, so with every title, there are controversial reigns, unrecognized reigns, and unrecognized champions. Do we have that with the IC title?
With the IC title, there are none noted that are unrecognized reigns.
Okay.
Now we're gonna delve into this a little deeper and make sure that is an accurate stat. But as of right now, the statistic says there are no unrecognized reigns.
Okay. WWE was always pretty good about that aspect of it too, for historical purposes. So that's cool. I'm with that. So out of 87 people, one of them being a woman.
Don't treat me like a woman. Don't treat me like a man. Don't treat me like you know me. Treat me for just who I am.
The cheesy funk guitar in the back and everything.
The cheesy funk guitar is a lost art. And I feel like that shit need to be brought back. If you are out there listening to the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and radio show infused with hip hop, and you can play cheesy bass guitar with some funk added to it, make sure to email us at show@brokenpencilbc.com
and
brokenpencilbc@gmail.com,
or just hit us with the hashtags or on the hashtags rather. Broken Pencil Logic. Mark my words. You can't write this. Fuck the casual fan with the shit. And my personal all-time favorite one, if I can find it real quick.
Price just went up. Price just went up.
You hoe.
Or on all social channels @Broken Pencil BC, and that's Broken Pencil BC on what?
Everything.
Every
damn thing. Now, all that out the way. 87 people, not men, 87 people have held the title, the Intercontinental Championship.
87 human beings, whatever their choices are.
We're drafting 16. We're drafting
that in itself is going to cause a clusterfuck for us.
Oh, don't worry. There are no wrong. Well, there could be a couple of wrong answers, but
yeah, if you want to win the tournament, there's going to be some wrong answers.
Yeah, but so the criteria.
That's what's important.
So how do we determine who makes the tournament?
Who makes the tournament? We just picking who we like. But the criteria to advance.
Oh, there we go.
Tournament. The criteria to advance in this tournament is going to be comprised of impact of reign.
Okay, not to be confused. Not to be confused with Impact Wrestling,
and not to be confused with the reign of your tribal chief. Have you acknowledged him today?
I have just now.
And for that, we thank you.
Yes.
So, the impact of your title reign, like when you became Intercontinental Champion, did you have a reign that was noteworthy? Did you have something happen during your title reign that made your reign special?
Now, keep this in mind. There's going to be some people that have multiple title reigns that get drafted,
which we will consider. Because that is another piece of criteria. Total number of reigns. How many times have they trusted you to put the belt around your waist?
And typically, if you've had like a multitude of title reigns, there's a couple of them that don't mean shit. But there might be one that stands out above all the rest.
But as we know, what is the best ability?
Availability.
And what is the second best ability?
Reliability.
So what else we want to use as criteria for this? I feel like obviously without, no cap, we're going to pick our favorite, who we like more.
Yeah, I mean, impact of the title reign, the total number of reigns, availability and reliability.
Availability and reliability is kind of reflected in the number of title reigns as well as the length of a reign.
Okay, all right. So let's take it old school. Who can whip the other one's ass?
Yeah, because we always use that. Who would win a match? Who would win the match?
Who would win the match?
Who would win the head-to-head matchup? Total number of reigns, length of title reigns. What else we using? Our personal favorites. That's 4. What else we got?
That's. I think that's good, man. Because I mean, we can come. We've always come to a good consensus on those elements there. So why should this be any different? You know what I'm saying? We can go through the. Let's go through the draft pool. We'll pull 16 names. We'll talk about some of those who have been left out because there's going to be some. We might even have to facilitate some exchanges on this bitch because it's going to be interesting.
Wait, we gonna draft and trade?
If not trade, exchange. Because we both still get 8 picks. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be real because there's a couple of these picks that's gonna be like the first 2 picks from each of us is gonna shape this tournament completely.
And because of how how the tournament's being formulated, it's very well possible that one could eliminate the other one very early.
Facts. So let's go ahead and let's get this coin flip popping. Let's see who's drafting first.
Going to Google. Good old fashioned.
Who drafted first last tournament?
I think it was me.
Was it?
I think I finally won a coin flip.
We'll flip the coin this time. I ain't gonna just take the first pick like that because it's too important.
All right, so coin flip. Since I'm flipping the coin, you can call it heads or tails.
I was finna say, don't start the same shit you always do. Heads I win, tails you lose.
Definitely not today.
Hit him with that Judge Mathis. I went to school with people like you. I know your stuff. Tails never fails.
All right, going up, coming down. Tails it is, sir. You get the first draft pick in the Broken Pencil BC Intercontinental Championship tournament, GOAT tournament.
I'm gonna be a total jerk just because I want to throw a monkey wrench in this off top. So
whole lot of monkey wrenches in the air.
Whole lot of monkey wrenches. First pick, Honky Tonk Man.
All right, Kurt Hennig.
Bret Hart.
Ooh. Let me go Macho Man.
Razor Ramon.
HBK.
I was hoping you would sleep. Oh my God!
See, this is how problems happen right here.
I was hoping that you would sleep at the wheel, and I was finna turn up for real. Because if you had let me get that many members of the clique, you could hang this up. Boy, I tell you one thing, you ain't no fool. You ain't no fool. Let's go. Let's go, Miz.
Good pick. I had reasons to put him on my list, and for the same reason you picked Miz, I'm picking Y2J.
Good job. Nice pick. Let's see. Let's look.
Let me get a countdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, it went fast. That first couple rounds of swapping went really quick.
Yeah, we halfway through the tournament right there. That's 8.
You feel me? Do you feel me? Kurt Hennig is gone.
Early.
Hart's gone. Shawn Michaels is gone. Razor Ramon is gone. Give me. I don't want to use a pick on him this early. That's too early for that.
I might put your ass on the shot clock.
The Rock?
Ooh, that's a good one. Let's see here. Let me go back to my The Rock. Oh shit! How can we? Triple H, man.
I mean, yeah. If you're gonna have The Rock, you're gonna have to have Triple H, because I mean that's what they was out here getting.
They getting busy over it.
Getting busy. Let me see if I can't find somebody in this modern era. Give me Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, man.
I know that's a sacrificial lamb as fuck, but don't worry about it. Man, I'll make it work.
He's so good, as they say. So good.
So good. So good.
Let's see here. Let's go with there's really 2 reasons I want to go with this one guy. Let me go with the Ultimate Warrior.
Interesting pick. This is where it gets real. As I'm looking and I'm scrolling, I think I'm gonna go backwards in time. I've done quite a few modern guys. Pause.
Hey yo,
Greg Johnson. You took Steamboat already?
No.
Nah. Give me the British Bulldog.
Man. Not the. We'll talk. Golly, these conversation pieces are going to be so good. Let's see.
Yeah.
All right, so we 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right. Let's see here. Let me go with. Oh man. I'm scrolling.
Scrolling. Yeah.
For the time frame, I'm going modern era. I'll explain myself later. Cody Rhodes.
Okay, since you're gonna make that obscure pick, that gives me credence to make an obscure pick of my own.
Okay.
I'll take Ahmed Johnson.
All right. And so that's your last pick.
Is it?
That is your last pick. Do you want
now? I see where that exchange shit comes from. Well played, sir. Yeah. Look at you thinking out ahead.
Let's see here. I'm going to go. Oh man. Man, I'm gonna go. Shit.
Yeah. Take your time. Take your time.
Oh man, I have reasons for all of these cats, but they really don't matter. And we'll talk about them. We'll talk about some of these here in a minute. There's one person I keep looking at it on this list that has a sizable number of reigns, and I'm thinking about it. I can't remember one memory from that number of reigns. I already know who you're talking about on that one too. Well, as soon as I get this pick out the way, fuck, this is so wild, man.
I take that back now. I just remembered one.
You know what? There's two people I could go with on the end here. I know who, I'm going with Rick Rude.
Good pick.
As my final pick, I'm going with Rick Rude. So, whoo, man. All right, so we have our 16.
We made it a little more difficult than it should have been.
Yeah, but because we're thinking it out here, and so we'll be thinking out loud here very shortly.
Trying to play chess with liquid swords.
So, I think I'm good with all my picks. You, sir, because you didn't realize having the first pick that your last pick would be before, it's over, quote unquote. You made mention about switching out Ahmed Johnson. Do we want to leave him in, or do you want to switch him for a player to be named sooner?
The argument I would use for him that would probably get him out of the first round but no further is about the same as the argument I would use for his replacement. I don't know now. It feels a little weird. I'm gonna say, yeah, we'll stick with him. Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. So we have our tournament competitors set. Honky Tonk Man, Kurt Hennig, Bret Hart, Macho Man, Razor Ramon, Heartbreak Kid, The Miz, Y2J, The Rock, Triple H, Dolph Ziggler, The Ultimate Warrior, Davey Boy Smith, Cody Rhodes, Ahmed Johnson, and Rick Rude.
When you say it like that, it feels like we left so much history off of this list.
I mean, don't worry, we can talk about it.
This is facts. Because I'm thinking about it in the sense of how these sites will listen to a podcast and then write a complete article based on it like it's news. Mm-hmm. So if someone did that with us, especially with all this newfound fame and syndication with Amazon and play more pods, someone may do that with this. And you're gonna look at that list of 16 champions and be like, well, how the fuck did they pick these?
So
now, of course, they would have to listen to the episode to figure that out, but I don't think they'd cite us as a source. But again,
we'll see. Stranger things have happened. We'll see what comes of it.
So I'll take that. I'll say we got some honorable mentions before we actually start the pool. So you can throw them names in the randomizer, and we got some honorable mentions.
We have our tournament bracket set, randomized, and ready to play. Suave, we got a good one on our hands here. So let's do a mixtape real quick.
Let's do it.
All right. What was the? You had an idea for a good one.
So top 10 is our honorable mentions of Intercontinental Champions. So 5 from you and 5 from me of individuals who did not make this list. who did not make the tournament. So this is the NIT, the Intercontinental the ICNIT.
Okay.
Mixtape. 5 honorable mentions of Intercontinental Champions that did not make the tournament.
Since you won the coin flip, let me go ahead and give you the first pick on mine. Wade Barrett.
All right. Wade Barrett. Okay, I like it. I'm gonna go Jeff Jarrett.
JEFFJARRET. Wade Barrett, Jeff Jarrett.
Because on the cool, if I was gonna swap Ahmed Johnson out, it probably would have been. He was one of the people I was thinking, because he has some of the most infamous Intercontinental title reigns, and he's got a fairly high number of reigns.
Who, Jarrett?
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because his last reign was the Good Housekeeping match.
Yep, which he was out of contract when that happened.
That part, which the story that goes with that is stuff of legend.
The bad timing Intercontinental Champion of all time is Umaga.
Umaga. Oos Gang. Goldust.
You wouldn't even know. Oh, Goldust was a good one too. You wouldn't even know that this man was the IC champion, but you kind of have to crawl before you walk. CM Punk.
Oh no. Oh, this is true. This is true. I mean, goes without saying, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah,
the Intercontinental Championship, was the launching pad that Austin 316 was kind of built on. That and the King of the Ring.
Yeah, we don't even get we don't even get Stone Cold in its truest form because of the neck injury. But if it wasn't for that, then we probably would hold his Intercontinental title reign in a higher regard. Let's see. Hall of Fame caliber. Actually, in a Hall of Famer at that. But a unforgettable, less than memorable title reign, or forgettable, less than memorable title reign is Kurt Angle.
I would have figured he'd have had more title reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, who's another good one? Because let's be honest, after a certain year, these title reigns don't mean shit. Like, the belt itself stopped meaning shit. Give me... I didn't realize that was 38 days. That's actually pretty cool. The Mountie.
Oof.
Let me tell you why. The Mountie has one title reign. Guess how long it was?
I'm going to, without looking at the list, I'm going to guess over 200 days.
You could not be more wrong. The Mountie is the definition of a transitional champion. The Mountie held the Intercontinental Championship for 2 days.
Wasn't it Canada?
He won it at a house show and then lost it 2 days later at the Royal Rumble to Roddy Piper.
Wow.
So the background on this is it ain't stepping on the tournament none. Bret Hart had a title reign. Ends up I think this is like the kayfabe reason. It's like let's say Bret Hart had a temperature of 100 and something and had the flu. And then so that's how the Mountie ends up beating him in Canada, and he hits him with the cattle prod and the whole thing. So 2 days later, it's Royal Rumble 92, the infamous Royal Rumble where Richard Fleer becomes WWF champion.
The winner of the Rumble becomes the champion.
Yes, the understory of that is Roddy Piper ends up stepping in to face the Mountie. Roddy Piper ends up winning the Intercontinental Championship, and the understory for the rest of the pay-per-view is Roddy Piper has the opportunity to be the first person in WWF history to win the Intercontinental and WWF Championships on the same night.
More leading to the fact of why he could be the best never.
Yeah, because boy, that would have been, there you go.
So even crazier than that, you say the kayfabe reason, but how about there's a real reason that may be the case, but no one ever knows it. Apparently, Bret Hart and Roddy Piper are distant cousins. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah, so that plays into their match at WrestleMania 8. Like they speak about it a little bit, but of course this is 1992. Things are handled different. Like you don't get that type of information freely. You really got to know somebody that trusts you with that info.
Right.
But during the promo backstage before the match with me and Gene Okerlund, they kind of talk about their childhood. And Mrs. Hart used to make them sandwiches, and that was one piece of bologna, but I was hungry. Like, for those of you who know that, or go get back on the cock, pause, and watch WrestleMania 8.
Yeah. Oh shit, get on the cock. Yeah, it's good shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 2 more. Let me see if I can give you one good one here. He's not remembered for his IC title reigns, but he was an impactful champion during those because he made for interesting television. Rob Van Dam.
What do you say?
Yeah. Give me one more.
Did either one of us say Ricky Steamboat yet?
We've said it. We just haven't picked him.
I mean, it seems sacrilegious to kind of leave him off this list because he has an Intercontinental title match that is like
the match.
He hit a trifecta.
The match was one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Intercontinental title match of all time,
and listed as one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history,
and also listed as one of the greatest matches in history.
That's a hat trick.
However, we're talking about one match versus a reign. So
yeah, that reign not very long. It's less than 100 days, I believe.
So Steamboat goes on the list.
65 days.
Yeah, 65. Okay, so two months.
He's got one reign for 65 days, but in that 65 days, he hit the hat trick.
He goes from WrestleMania to what would be Money in the Bank.
and you ended a 414-day reign, the second longest reign third longest reign.
Don't steal my shine, fam.
Hey, I didn't say who it was attached to. Just hold your water.
Okay, so we got the honorable mentions out the way.
You can't stop the rain when it starts to He's finna go full Lamar on me because I'm getting stats out.
We got the honorable mention mixtape out the way. Is there anybody or anybody's that we need to throw out here?
Wait, what?
Is there anybody that we need to throw out as far as like just talk about them briefly before we get into this tournament?
Patrick Patterson.
Why?
I mean, he's the first.
He was handed the belt. This fictitious
in a tournament in Rio de Janeiro.
A fictitious tournament.
You respect that man's sacrifice. He started this Intercontinental Championship shit, and this the motherfucking things he gets.
This is a fact. Okay.
Come on, don't be disrespectful.
If you ever disrespect me, don't be disrespectful. Try me.
Try Jesus, not me, because I fight.
How about Edge?
Facts.
Edge
has a lot of good title reigns, but they're in that era where the Intercontinental Championship doesn't get it's not as prestigious as it was maybe in the early to mid 90s.
And you know what's crazy? That's actually the reason why Cody made my list. Well, I will explain later. Kofi has had a few title reigns. Less than memorable.
Shout out to Kerry Von Erich. Why? Because, bitch,
Texas. Yes, indeed.
One reign, 84 days, but one that ended the undefeated streak. Oh no, I take that back. I was about to lie. He ended a Intercontinental reign of a tournament entry, but it's not his undefeated streak. He actually ended that earlier in the year.
How about Santino Marella? Didn't he win the IC belt in his first match?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And guess who he beat?
Talk to me.
Somebody you put on this mixtape.
Somebody put on the mixtape?
Mm-hmm.
That was Umaga?
Yep.
Wow.
The Milan Miracle.
Wow.
The Miracle in Milan.
Let's see here.
Owen Hart.
Couple.
One time for Owen Hart.
Yeah. The whole
Steve Austin song and dance doesn't happen if Owen Hart isn't a part of this.
That's correct, and because that was for the IC belt, and didn't Austin win the IC belt because of that errant pile driver?
Yes, that was 97. He had lost it. What did he end up losing it? Well, fuck it. The list is right here. Let me look.
I want to because he won in a tournament against Farouk. I know that much. I just don't remember if he gave up the belt to Austin after that pile driver.
No. Like, Austin beat Owen Hart at SummerSlam 97 after that pile driver to win the Intercontinental Championship.
Okay.
And then then there's a forfeiture and then so forth and whatnot.
Of course, China. We should have mentioned her. She was the first and only woman to hold the IC title belt.
We just did.
There it is. Shelton Benjamin is somebody that's surprising to be on this list, but he's also the fact that he even had reigns was surprising. He had I think 2 reigns. Shout
out to OG Keish. He had a reign. Oos Gang.
Okay. I think I'm good with the mentions. I mean, we can go back to if you want to go back to the Greg Valentine.
I think Greg Valentine deserves a shout out. Eddie Guerrero deserves a shout out.
Yes, Uncle Eddie for sure.
I think I'm good though. Oh, see JBL.
Did he?
Yeah. That was his one reign is right before he retires.
Okay.
2009.
Okay. Yeah, that completely missed me on that one. So there's a lot of short reigns on here. There's some lengthy reigns on here as well.
The late great John Huber, aka Luke Harper.
Luke Harper, yep. A less than memorable reign, but man, what a hand though.
he had a fire ass match with Uncle Ziggy, but I mean, who doesn't have fire ass matches with Uncle Ziggy?
I mean, and then when you look at someone like Zig, and then you realize how dope John Huber was, or Luke, in this case Luke Harper was as a competitor, like those matches were so I guess mistimed from a backstage standpoint. Things could have been so much better on TV for people of their caliber. If that makes any sense. Too much to give, not enough time to give it. I think that would be the best way to describe Luke Harper as an Intercontinental Champion. That said, let's get this shit underway, man. First round.
Let's get it.
First round, we have Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig versus Cody Rhodes. Both of these picks are mine. I'm going to go ahead and advance Mr. Perfect.
Thank you.
But let me tell you why I put Cody Rhodes in this tournament.
It's your time to shine.
There's a reason why he goes in and a reason why he's on this tournament, and other people like John Huber or a.k.a. Luke Harper are not on the tournament. That issue has to deal with the relevancy of the tournament, of the title. At the time, Cody Rhodes was just breaking apart from, was it Legacy?
Yeah.
And he had this dashing Cody Rhodes gimmick with the mustache and all this type of stuff. And
is he like the first person to try to bring back that state trooper look?
Buddy Lee Parker's bastard child.
No, like a fucking like Super Troopers or like Lieutenant Jim Dangle from Reno 911.
He might have been.
What's my other guy, Junior?
I mean,
what the fuck, man?
And we saw him weekly. What's my man from Scream? Dewey.
Yeah,
he had the Dewey thing going.
Junior, Lieutenant Dangle, and also from Reno 911. Shout out to Garcia. They all look the same.
But the biggest thing was during this time frame, Cody brought back the one thing that gave the Intercontinental Championship some, I guess, luster. And that was the Warriors' white Intercontinental title belt. The old school design with the white leather, he brought that back. And it translated to a 200+ day reign with that title in tow.
Here's a fun fact. The white strap, I'm almost certain the white strap is a Cody Rhodes thing. The Ultimate Warriors title had a yellow strap.
You sure? I thought he had multiple straps for it, depending on what he was wearing.
He may have, but the way it takes the time that it takes to make a belt and have it ready to actually put on TV, I'm pretty certain this didn't change as many times as I thought. I feel like he had
no, not Cody. I'm talking about Warrior.
Yeah, no, okay. Warrior. Like because at WrestleMania 7, it's a yellow strap. The Intercontinental Championship is on a yellow leather strap.
Okay.
And then I feel like during his World Heavyweight title reign, he had a baby blue strap. On the Winged Eagle title. I don't remember the white for him. It's possible it happened and I missed it, but I do know he had the yellow one. I feel like the white strap was a Cody Rhodes signature thing.
Okay, because I was always under the impression that it was for an homage to Warrior, which regardless, it did bring back the old design of the IC belt when he put the white strap.
Yeah,
on
it's an indirect. Like indirectly, it's homage because the strap isn't black, but I think it was by design that the strap wasn't black just to make the title pop on TV more.
Right, and honestly, I think the only reason why we still don't have that belt now is because with the champion like Nakamura, he needs more of a international feeling legitimate belt.
That title was made for Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't know anybody says.
Doubt. Absolutely no doubt. And there's somebody else that should have made the list too, because he got a belt for him. But anyway, that said, Hennig had Bobby the Brain Heenan in tow for an IC run.
I am what I say I am. I say I'm perfect.
He also didn't have him for a run. And this was during a time where if you had the IC belt, you were the best working wrestler on the roster. And Kurt
had
Hennig,
all the skills.
Kurt Hennig was earmarked for whatever he wanted to do at that time frame because the larger than life superstars were the ones that carried the big belt. So for that reason, Kurt Hennig is on the list and he beats the shit out of Cody Rhodes and advances to the next round.
But thank you, Cody, for your contributions.
Rock versus Ahmed Johnson.
Well, let's go ahead and get ready to say goodbye to Ahmed. So I put him on this list because he was the first African American to ever win the Intercontinental Championship. And that was the sole reason that he made this list. He was also a former Dallas Cowboy. Yeah, and at one point in WWE, Bill Watts wanted to name him Buck Johnson. These are all the fun facts I have on Ahmed Johnson. Thank you for playing our game. We appreciate all of your contributions to the culture. But for the Intercontinental Championship Tournament, that was my sole card. I have played it, and that will be all.
That has been your TED Talk. Actually, you get more speak, because next up we have the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith versus Dolph Ziggler.
This is where it's okay. The tournament just started now. So here's what you got to help me with. Uncle Ziggy has 6 total title reigns.
Okay.
Now you can sort of debate about which of these matters, which is the most significant. His classic series of matches in 2018 with Seth Rollins, who is another person who could have made this list, very honestly. his classic feud with the Miz during the latest version of the brand split, not bland split.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, the bland split. But the series of matches with Miz, including the ladder match and like an almost retirement angle, like it's a lot of stuff that went on with that. Classic ladder match with the late John Huber, aka Luke Harper. Like Ziggy got a resume with this belt.
Okay.
I can't necessarily say I'll say he almost put the Intercontinental Championship in a main event spot. When they split, and this is 2016 when the brand split happens again, when Shane and Daniel Bryan revive SmackDown and it goes live.
Yeah, save some of that conversation for later on. Another one of your picks deserves way more of that energy.
This is fact, but the actual, this is what, No Mercy, where let's keep it 1,000. That should have been the main event of that pay-per-view.
Okay.
It was an all SmackDown card, and that was the hottest feud they had. So he almost put the Intercontinental Championship back in a main event slot. However, the guy he's in the tournament against right now did put the Intercontinental Championship in a main event slot. Main event slot of SummerSlam. The year 1992.
In front of about 80,000 people.
In Wembley Stadium.
It's safe to say. Here's the problem.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I interrupted you. It's safe to say.
It's safe to say that the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, has the most high-profile Intercontinental title match of all time.
This is very true. Here's the problem. That's all he has.
That and he put over Shawn Michaels.
One reign. He makes the Heartbreak Kid and defeats Bret Hart. So he defeats Bret Hart in Wembley and puts over the Heartbreak Kid. But that's
a hell of a hat trick, though.
In the span of 2 months. Honestly, I think Dolph Ziggler's reign as IC title holder were more impactful than those three. Because if this was stretched out over a longer period of time, we may have a different conversation. Bulldog was hot-shotted, and it's not his fault that he was hot-shotted, but nonetheless, he was hot-shotted.
He was a transitional champion.
Yeah, so if that's the case, if he's on this tournament,
champion. He might be the best transitional champion of all time, which that's another tournament. Put a pin in that. But he might be the best because he main evented SummerSlam in his home country in front of 80,000 people, beat the eventual WWF champion in Bret Hart, and then made Shawn Michaels in less than 2 months.
So in a wrestling match, in an actual wrestling match, both the guys in their prime, I'm putting Bulldog over. That's for sure. He's a dungeon master. He's a heart by marriage.
That's a dream match you want to see that you didn't know you wanted, because Ziggler gonna sell the fuck out of all of Davey Boy's power moves.
Davey Boy was just so big you couldn't take him as a legit wrestler. But the reason why he got the IC belt is because he can wrestle. He got skills. Motherfucker got bars. I mean, and his son is a mirror image of him minus the size.
They trying to stash him somewhere. Don't worry about it. 90 days will be up soon.
Yeah. So at any rate, I
don't want a coin flip. Like, Ziggler has more album releases. Davey Boy got the biggest.
He got bigger hit. Yeah.
I'm almost at coin flip. Like, and it seems disrespectful, but yeah.
Well, actually, you know what? If we say Davey Boy would win in a match, and he had a bigger hit.
Yeah, he's more impactful.
So that puts it to Davey Boy. So let's put Davey Boy into the next round.
I think I just shot myself in the foot for the rest of this tournament, because it'd have been a lot easier to argue Dolph Ziggler's resume as this tournament goes on. But
all you gotta do is go by matches. Yeah, I mean, but
yeah, like just the feud with The Miz and the feud with Seth Rollins. The matches that came out of that are enough to say it'd have got him past somebody else.
That's why these tournaments. That's why these tournaments are so viable. We need these.
Bruh, we're giving the community what it needs.
All right. Honky Tonk Man versus Macho Man Randy Savage.
Whoa, Nelly.
This is a main event.
This was a main event in real life. This has happened before. This is one of the more famous angles in late 80s, early 90s WWF.
So, Honky Tonk Man, for almost, well, not almost, it was over a year. People, they say it was almost 2 years. No, it was 454 days was this title reign. The only time he ever held the Intercontinental title, he held it for the longest reign on paper. 454 days. 454. Shouts out to Pedro Morales, who's number 2 at 425.
And coming in at number 3,
Randy Savage.
Randy Macho Man Savage.
At 414. The crazy shit is, if I'm not mistaken, Honky Tonk Man beat Randy Savage for the title.
No, Savage lost it to Steamboat. That's the WrestleMania 3 match. Honky Tonk Man beats Ricky Steamboat for it.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. So there's a gap. Okay.
So technically, Steamboat is also a transitional champion. Hey, pull up another notepad and start writing this shit down, because we got the pool for this next tournament off top. Transitional champion invitational cup.
Oh man, .com. All right, so Savage
and the Mountie. Well, no, Steamboat and the Mountie on that other tournament, but yeah, Savage. Focus.
Yeah. So Savage, one reign, 414 days that ends with the and let's talk about this and what happened in this reign. We had Elizabeth catch eyes for George the Animal Steele. Mm-hmm. We had Randy Savage on an episode of Wrestling Challenge, a Sunday show, syndicated show, jump off the top rope with a ring bell and hit Ricky Steamboat in the thoke. Damaging his vocal cords, kayfabe of course, to set up the main event for WrestleMania. Over a year, we had Randy Savage run roughshod over the roster. Weekly defenses on Superstars and on Wrestling Challenge, occasional commentary bits with Monsoon and Heenan on Wrestling Challenge. Honky Tonk Man only was Honky Tonk Man. He only played the songs. He only did the shake, rattle, and roll. But Savage was all over the place and was putting on clinics for matches.
Hold on, because what you're not gonna do is shit on my draft pick. Let me tell you why Honky Tonk Man is taking this. Number 1, the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time.
Mine's number 3, but go ahead. That's the fact, though.
Beat the man that beat your guy for the title.
I hate this fucking guy.
One of the biggest heels of the late 80s. One of the biggest heels in WWF history.
These two guys are two of the biggest heels in wrestling history.
These are facts. These are absolute facts. The Honky Tonk Man is what birthed the face turn of Randy Savage. He's the reason for the Mega Powers getting together. Not only does Honky Tonk Man beat the guy that beat Randy Savage, not only is he one of the biggest heels in WWF history, not only is he the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in WWF or E history, the guy he loses to, he makes. Guess who that person is?
Ultimate Warrior?
Jimothy Hellwig.
I am correct, sir.
You are correct. Jimothy Hellwig is the man who beat the Honky Tonk Man and ended his 454-day reign at SummerSlam 1988. The Ultimate Warrior went on to do what?
Run roughshod and be undefeated and become the first WWF Intercontinental Champion and WWF Heavyweight Champion simultaneously.
How is that for impact for one title reign? You're the reason that the Mega Powers came together. You made the Ultimate Warrior. You held the title for longer than anyone in recorded history. Like,
Savage has been real. Honky Tonk Man, you've advanced to the next round.
Oh yeah.
For my next trick,
Bow, bow.
Ultimate Warrior versus Bret the Hitman Hart.
Get out of here. What you want to say about our old buddy before we get him up out of here?
I literally just said it, but I mean, main eventing Wembley Stadium with the Intercontinental. Hold on, let me turn this real quick. Main eventing Wembley Stadium with the Intercontinental title against your brother-in-law in a time where relationships in the business weren't known. I had to put some reverence on that real quick. And Hart's not even my guy in this. Warrior's only claim to fame is the fact that he beat the Honky Tonk Man and for IC title reigns record time, but then went on to have an undefeated reign as IC champion and then defeat Good Try Terry to take the WWF strap off of him and held both belts up simultaneously. The first person to ever do that. But there's nothing that ever came from that. It meant absolutely nothing. You can go back and look at any reign that Bret Hart had and get classic matches. I mean, 1992.
So what you're saying? Let me break down this statistician math for you. This broken pencil math. Bret Hart only has 2 Intercontinental title reigns.
Yes, sir.
The reason being, after that second one, they knew it was time to put some bigger gold on him. Flair was on his way out, and you're trying to get younger, and the guy you trust the most is the guy who shows up most, and that guy was Bret Hart. But check this out. His 2 title reigns, that whole cycle takes about a year. Almost a year to the day. So August 26th of 1991 is where he wins the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam from Kurt Hennig. Highly regarded as one of the greatest Intercontinental Championship matches of all time.
I highly recommend anybody who within an eye shot of Peacock go watch that match.
Watch that whole pay-per-view. It was fire. So, one of the greatest Intercontinental Championship matches ever. One of the greatest matches in SummerSlam history against one of the greatest Intercontinental Champions of all time. Almost to the day a year later, August 29th, my baby birthday, 1992. Defends that same title in the main event of SummerSlam in Wembley Stadium against the British Bulldog. This is all in 1 year. And then you have the classic with Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 8 in April of 1992.
So Warrior, we brought you to the party because you had some impact when you got that belt, and the things that you did, you had something there. It wasn't enough for Bret Hart though. Bret Hart, you advanced to the next round.
And that explains your transitional championship with the Mountie. Like, he was basically just setting up Hart versus Piper, where Piper could put Hart over.
In WWE history, in terms of competition, this next one may be the hardest and the one that you never wanted to see. Triple H versus HBK.
Now, mind you, we are talking about Intercontinental Championship versions of both of these people.
This is insane that we actually get this.
Yeah, we've had a lot of our draft picks have to face each other before we get to the real nitty gritty. Personal favorite is going to be Shawn Michaels.
I mean, there's so much entertainment with Triple H, with Shawn Michaels as the IC champion, because you get Diesel as the heavy.
Yeah.
In fact, you get HBK versus Razor Ramon for the IC belt because Shawn Michaels leaves. Razor becomes IC champion. Shawn Michaels comes back. They both have claims to the belt. So what do? Put them both up there for an undisputed title on the ladder. And
famed WrestleMania 10 Intercontinental Championship ladder match.
From what I understand, the house show matches are better than the one we got at WrestleMania.
And we got a classic on pay-per-view, but the house shows were better. Get the fuck out of here. Shawn Michaels. Now look, and with all due respect to Triple H, his best matches as Intercontinental Champion are all against one person.
The Rock.
And that's not a slight on anybody else. It's just their matches were that much better. His time as Intercontinental Champion was just at a...
Triple H beats Mark Merrow. Defeated by The Rock.
That part.
The Rock when Triple H defeats The Rock and then is defeated by Ken Shamrock.
See?
You see what I'm saying? And this was during an era where the IC title was essentially the TV championship.
Like the IC title still has some smoke on it, but it's that oval design.
And then Triple H might be one of the best transitional champions ever. Because he defeats Chris Jericho to lose to Jeff Hardy.
Yep.
In a week on SmackDown.
Didn't he end up taking it back from Jeff Hardy too during the 2-man power trip?
On Monday Night Raw 4 days later.
So peep this. Does that make Triple H the greatest transitional champion, or does it make Jeff Hardy the greatest transitional champion?
I mean,
put them both in the draft pool. That's what you do. You put them both in the draft pool.
Hardy, Triple H, also add Kane. Transitional.
It's 39 days transitional. Oh, it is. Let's keep it 1,000. But yes, advancing to the next round is Shawn Michaels. Thank you very much. we got 2 classic ladder matches with just Razor Ramon: SummerSlam '95 and WrestleMania 10 in 1994. You also had a ladder match at Survivor Series. Wait, is that a ladder match? Survivor Series '92.
I believe. Hold on.
It's not an Intercontinental Championship match, though.
You said 1992?
Uh-huh.
All right, let's see here. The matches. Survivor Series 92, we have...
Or was it just a regular match?
Nah, Razor was in a match with a tag team match with Ric Flair.
Now I know that. I'm talking about Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
Oh, no, that was just a regular match.
Okay.
Yeah, Bret Hart won by submission.
Okay, because I felt like they had a ladder match somewhere in 92. I thought it was the pay-per-view, but I guess it wasn't.
And so let's see here. Where are we at? Oh, there we go. All right, next round. This is, oh man. The Miz versus Chris Jericho.
Wow. So look, somebody ain't gonna be able to use this argument to get to the finals. Most title reigns in Intercontinental Championship history
between these two people right here.
So Ziggler has 6. Jeff Hardy has 5. Let's go through the list.
Jericho has 9.
Yeah, Jericho has 9, and The Miz has 8.
Now Miz is your guy, right?
Yes.
Give your argument, because there's something I do want to say about him that I would be an ass if I didn't say this about him during this. But go ahead.
Let's just keep it real. Like the Miz has made more with less than anybody in modern WWE history. Like
chicken salad. He took chicken salad from chicken shit,
and then put shrimp on it.
Add bacon.
You know what I'm saying? Add bacon and guacamole. I want bacon and guac. Like, he is that guy. He is Mr. Upgrade. Whatever they give him, no matter how bad, no matter how cheesy, no matter how corny, he finds a way to upgrade it. Hence the case with the Intercontinental Championship. The Intercontinental Championship, for all intents and purposes, after, pick a year, 2000 and...
I want to say 16 for my argument.
I was gonna keep it realer than that. I was gonna say sometime after 1999, the Intercontinental Championship went into.
Oh, you talking when it went to the Abyss?
Yeah, went into the Witness Protection Program.
Specifically around the time, I probably say post RVD. So like 05, 06.
On the cool, I was gonna say before, but I mean, I feel that
because they even gave Ric Flair a 154-day title reign during that time frame prior to 06.
You see what I'm saying? I was gonna cut it off at when China won it in the Good Housekeeping match. That was like the death of it. But you have like,
I don't know, because Booker T made it interesting. Christian made it interesting for the short time that he had it.
Then you got Kurt, Chris, and the guy that won't be named.
Yep.
And that, like, they had some fire ass matches between the three of them for that. So it's not totally dead at that point, but like it's on life support.
Yeah. But 06, like after Benjamin, it's pretty like even Umaga. Like it was bad. Jericho brings it back a little bit. Little
long hair Jericho.
Yeah. No. This is Soccer Mom here.
Soccer Mom Jericho don't do nothing for me as Intercontinental Champion. Let's just keep it real. That's like you just carrying a title around because that's the whole thing. What we do.
Save us, Jericho is who this is.
Right. So, that's more of a tribute to his what's the best ability, availability. What's the second best ability, reliability.
Yep.
This is the reliability bracket of the Intercontinental Championship. But I'm going to personally refer to Miz as Mr. Ouija because he resurrected the Intercontinental Championship on more than one occasion. And again, someone who almost put the Intercontinental Championship in a pay-per-view main event slot. Him and Dolph Ziggler should have main evented No Mercy 2016. I don't give a damn how you say it. That was the main event. That was the one that we cared about. That was the match if you were watching exclusively SmackDown, the one you wanted to see. And on a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view, that was the biggest story you had going on. That should have been the main event.
I couldn't agree with you more. There was a time frame from probably about March of... There was a hell of a reign April of 2016 for The Miz. And then there was another one. I want to say it had to start around Extreme Rules of 17.
Extreme Rule?
When Miz went ape shit. He on the microphone, he went completely left. He wasn't shooting daggers at people. He wasn't body bagging people. But the realism and the conviction for the stuff that he was saying made you be like, okay, he means this. And to the point to where he made the Intercontinental Championship mean something again. The same way John Cena reinvented the U.S. Championship. So much
did it for a longer period.
And I mean, let's go through these reigns real quick. Defeating Zack Ryder on Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. So Zack Ryder won WrestleMania, won the Intercontinental Championship of WrestleMania here in Texas.
That moment doesn't get enough smoke because Zack Ryder, being the guy who was always basically the castaway and used as the crash test dummy, they never talked about the fact that he beat cancer to come back and eventually become Intercontinental Champion at WrestleMania. And then the next night, The Miz finagles and finesses it out of his hands. There was not enough smoke put on that.
Right. But the Miz did make you forget that Zack Ryder won it because he held it for 6 months and was defeated by Ziggler. And then turned around and beat Ziggler to get the belt back.
And then lost it to Dean Ambrose,
who had it for about 5 months.
Then he beat him for it.
Then he beat him, held him for almost another 6 months.
Then he lost it to Roman Reigns.
Then turned around and beat Roman Reigns and held it for about 2.5 months.
And then lost it to Seth Rollins.
And then turns around and who loses it to Ziggler, who loses it to Rollins, who loses it to Ambrose. I mean, it goes on and on. But either way,
he may be the only person in WWE history to lose a championship to all three members of the Shield. That's a motherfucking stat.
That's a mixtape for you.
Bruh. That's a stat nobody, I guarantee you, if you pose that as a trivia question,
sadly, Miz makes the list as transitional champion. Because of one or two of these reigns. At any rate, it was also this was also the era that got Renee Young, aka Renee Paquette, and Bryan Danielson, at the time Daniel Bryan, on Talking Smack, and made Talking Smack must-see TV. Miz had that must-see gimmick going. Miz, like Daniel Bryan helped it, but Miz catapulted it to being must-see TV because of his interactions with Daniel Bryan. Impact for the championship, by all means, goes to the Miz. It's not even close. Y2J with 9 reigns just means that you're MVP, like you have Hall of Fame stats. But
you're the guy we trust when you ain't got other option.
I mean, there was 3 years where Y2J only appeared on house shows. Like, he came back while he was in New Japan to make a couple of appearances. Like, that shit's fire. Like, only certain people with a certain level of respect can get that. But this ain't the conversation we have. And we have a conversation about who's the most impactful Intercontinental Champion. In this case, it's going to be The Miz. Our final matchup for the first round.
All right.
Razor Ramon, Scott Hall. Versus Ravishing Rick Rude.
I would like to consider myself a Rick Rude fan. I would.
How can you not, being from Texas?
Especially for his WCW work. Like, him as the lead heel in the Dangerous Alliance it might be the most slept on body of work.
Nah, not the second most. His most slept on body of work was World Class, without question.
Okay, then
that's what got him to WWF.
That's a whole different brand of sauce. Like, that's yeah, for real. So Rick Rude is goated, but for the purposes of Intercontinental Championship, he has 1 reign.
Yep.
He was the guy that ended the undefeated streak of the Ultimate Warrior.
That man, one match didn't have a belt. What did he do? Airbrush that bitch on his tights.
You feel me? Like, he is very much also in that make chicken salad out of chicken shit and then add bacon and guacamole. Bruh. With shrimp.
It's insane how good that time was. Meanwhile, you have Razor Ramon, who's doing one of the most outlandish matches we had ever seen at that time in our lives. A ladder match where you take a 10-foot, or I'm sorry, it's probably like a 10 or 12-foot ladder, and you dangle 2 belts above the center of the ring, and the winner of the match is the person who climbs to the top of that ladder and takes both straps down. We had never seen anything like that. We hadn't seen anybody go through tables, none of that stuff at that point. This was uncharted territory. Razor Ramon was the only person of non-Latinx descent that was able to go into Carroll City, Florida.
That by itself is a Hall of Fame moment.
An Apollo legend.
Shout out to Kiki Shepard.
Razor also was the person, and he wasn't the champion at the time, but he was also the person that put over the 1-2-3 Kid as the 1-2-3 Kid. Well, the Lightning Kid, rather, to become the 1-2-3 Kid, because Lightning Kid was running roughshod here in Texas trying to win matches too at GWF. That's another conversation for another day. In terms of title reigns, Rick Rude had 1 reign. We talked about the spray paint of the belt. We also forget to talk about Cheryl Roberts. Who is Cheryl Roberts? Wife of Jake the Snake Roberts, whom was in the crowd, which seemed to be she was a plant, and she became part of a storyline and actually got Rick Rude more hated and got Jake the Snake fanfare at a time where he was hated. How is that possible? You have to get somebody's real life wife involved to turn one of the most hated men in professional wrestling into a crowd favorite.
Because there was a lot more effort put into creative back then. The suspension of disbelief had been absolutely turned on.
You were being creative in your creativity.
And then there's that. Another fun fact on Razor Ramon. Razor Ramon is the face of title switches on syndicated television. Razor Ramon wins the title on an episode of Monday Night Raw from Shawn Michaels. Loses it on Superstars syndicated television. Wins it back on pay-per-view at SummerSlam. Loses it again to Jeff Jarrett at a house show.
Who did he lose it to on Superstars?
No, he lost it to Diesel on Superstars.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's somebody else.
He gets it back from Razor Ramon at SummerSlam with Sweetness Walter Payton at ringside in the United Center. Like that's some shit you can't make that up. Loses it to Jeff Jarrett at the Royal Rumble. Then wins it back at a house show. Loses it back to Jeff Jarrett at a house show. And then guess who he beats for his last title reign before eventually going to WCW and creating the NWO?
Diesel?
Dean Douglas.
What?
Well, no, that's who he won it from. So remember when Shawn Michaels he got his ass kicked outside of a nightclub and then had to forfeit?
Right.
Either a Navy SEAL or a Marine kicked the shit out of him at a nightclub the night before.
Smoke happened.
Lumped him up real good. So that caused a forfeiture. The match was supposed to be versus Shane Douglas, who was, as he has famously said, on his sojourn to Cartoon Land, was playing Dean Douglas. So, go ahead and put Dean Douglas on the Transitional Championship list, because his reign was 0 days, because immediately after being awarded the title, he was thrust into a match with Razor Ramon, where Razor Ramon became the first ever 4-time Intercontinental Champion.
And for that, we thank you. Razor Ramon, you have defeated Rick Rude in this tournament. Rick Rude had a very impactful run, but Razor Ramon, even in losing, you might be the best losing Intercontinental Champion that we have. But that wraps up our first round. We got some hellified stories there. If you thought the first round had some main event matches in it, wait till you see the second round matches.
Bruh, and now we can put a little bit more smoke on our pace.
You think
we told these stories?
You thought? You ready?
There's gonna be some coin flips in here. I'm certain of it. Go ahead, run it.
All right, Rock versus Hennig.
For the purposes of Intercontinental Championships, all right, let's take a look at the footage. What Rock has won. 2. Bruh, here's some funny shit. ESPN put this list together and they had the decency to categorize one reign as Rocky Maivia and another one as The Rock.
Right. And here's what's even crazier. Rock's biggest reign came because Austin said he can have the sinking title. I don't want this piece of crap.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So there was a different brand of IC title reign that came from that, but it was still on par for what was happening at that era.
So Dwayne Johnson has 2 reigns.
Yep.
And he is being pitted against
Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect, who has 2 reigns. Mm-hmm. So 2 versus 2 on title reigns. So that's 126 days on one reign.
Perfect beats the Ultimate Warrior,
right?
And then loses to Kerry Von Erich. Now, he also regains from Kerry Von Erich and holds it for 280 days and loses to Bret Hart.
So yeah, and which also gives him one of the greatest Intercontinental Championship matches in history in that loss, and one of the greatest SummerSlam matches in history because of that loss.
For the purposes of the IC title. Only for the purposes of the IC title.
And also, The Rock has one of the greatest SummerSlam and Intercontinental Championship matches of all time because his loss to Triple H in 1998 is a ladder match.
Which was a heater because Triple H wasn't supposed to be face.
So what we're seeing from the data that we have here in the statistics is that SummerSlam is the home of the Intercontinental.
Home of the IC belt.
All the more reason that the 30th anniversary of SummerSlam should be in Wembley, and it should be an Intercontinental Championship match as the main event, as we told you bitches on a couple episodes before this. Well, not you bitches, but the bitches. Right. Y'all ain't no bitches. Y'all is pencil pushers, and we respect y'all and all of your choices.
Mm-hmm. So
but them, you know who we talking about? Them up there.
Them. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah, them people.
Hey, shout it. You know what it is.
For a nominal fee, soon to be a phenomenal fee.
There.
Cash at me my lunch money, Filmo.
You ain't even finish it.
I didn't have to. I got the first line out with no music. Go ahead and
nah.
Put something in the lunch bucket.
You just hungry, fat ass.
I mean, hey, let me live my life first of all.
All right,
don't shame my choices.
I got Hennig. Who you got?
Yeah, I got Hennig.
All right, Hennig advances. British Bulldog versus Honky Tonk Man.
Honky Tonk Man.
454 days is a long ass time.
Yeah, I can only pull that main event card with the championship so many times.
I mean, asses and seats. I mean, people came to boo the Honky Tonk Man. That's a fact. Bret Hart versus the Heartbreak Kid. I did not expect to see this one happening, but I'm glad it's here.
Ooh. So how many total reigns does Shawn Michaels have? It looks like that's 95. That's 3. I don't expect him to have any more title reigns after 95 because we start Wayne to equal Shawn Michaels, so I don't think he touches the belt again ever.
I think we have 3. Shawn Michaels has 3.
Yep. 3 reigns, and Bret Hart has 2 reigns.
Shawn Michaels is 3 reigns total, 406 days.
All right, what's the total on Bret Hart's reigns? 144, and where's the other reign?
Wait 1 second here. I can tell you here in a second.
144 and
290.
Okay.
290. And then if we look at, let's go back here. Shawn Michaels first reign defeats the British Bulldog at Saturday Night's Main Event, and then it loses to Marty Jannetty.
Right.
Beats Marty Jannetty at a house show and loses to Razor Ramon. We come back to 95. He defeats Jeff Jarrett, loses to Dean Douglas. And then...
Wait, it looks like something is missing on this list. Oh, there is a glaring omission on this list.
Talk to him.
So, I'm looking at this and we got the whole thing from 94. We have SummerSlam 94. So, where's fucking WrestleMania? WrestleMania 10's not on here.
Which is
Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels.
No, I see that. You're absolutely correct. That's it just says Razor Ramon and yes. No.
They skipped it. They skipped WrestleMania 10. This is ESPN, bro. So for those of you listening, we're using an ESPN list, and it's very well put together. But
except for the biggest match, possibly
the biggest glaring omission in list history. Like, they just completely skipped WrestleMania. I guess they figured because the title was held up, but you still would have had to signify a winner.
A winner from that match, which would have been the week before Diesel won it. You know what? That's what it is. That's what it is. If you look at the Razor reign from 9/27 to 4/13,
man, suck me. I get what you're saying.
Basically, what they're saying is he retained.
Then you need to notate that with an asterisk.
That needs to be an asterisk right in between there.
Don't disrespect the lineage.
If you ever disrespect me,
don't be disrespectful. Try me.
Oh, all right.
With that said,
and then we keep going. I think that was the last for HBK, losing to Dean Douglas.
Yeah, 95 is the last time HBK touches the Intercontinental Championship. Same thing with Bret Hart. 92 is the last time he touches the Intercontinental Championship.
But he's defeated by who?
Which one?
Bret Hart for 92. British Bulldog. But that's also in basically one could argue that by proxy Shawn Michaels defeated Bret Hart for the IC title. Because the only reason
but it didn't happen.
The only reason why we have Wembley, well, we have British Bulldog in Wembley is because of British Bulldog. I think more impactful. I think more impactful for the IC is Shawn Michaels in this one.
They have wrestled head to head for the Intercontinental Championship,
in which Bret Hart won.
Right, so there's that. I don't necessarily know if you can say more impactful because Bret Hart has, like I say, the pay-per-view main event in front of 80,000 people
and loses.
He loses, but he's there. He's
in the building. Okay,
you can't wrestle an Invisible Man. You can, but they'll only show that shit in Japan.
Let me give you respect on that one.
You know what I'm saying? Bret Hart has a strong case to claim himself as Mr. SummerSlam based on 2 Intercontinental title matches in back-to-back years. Like, let's keep it a thigh-out.
So,
and if I go back and check, what was Bret Hart doing at SummerSlam 90? Normally, I know this shit off the top of my head, but I don't remember that card.
Oh, we can do our Googles.
I'm already in, you know it.
SummerSlam 1990. I'm here. The matches. Bret Hart. What is he doing? Nothing? Oh, Hart Foundation versus Demolition.
Oh, so that's a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Yes, sir.
Another SummerSlam classic. So until I do more research, I'm gonna interim crown Bret Hart as Mr. SummerSlam. But he's got the only pay-per-view main event
of that era or of all eras.
I don't think the Intercontinental Championship is main evented another pay-per-view.
Oh no! You talking about Mr. SummerSlam? Because that's a whole other conversation.
That's another tournament.
Because that might be. We might have to do a couple of tournaments with Mr. You know what? Mr.
SummerSlam.
Mr. Pay-per-view. Because
Mr. Pay-per-view is some other shit. That's gonna take forever for us to figure out. What we should do, you do the major pay-per-views, like say Mr. WrestleMania, we say that's Shawn Michaels. Mr. SummerSlam, I'm saying for right now that's Bret Hart.
Because lately it's been Brock.
That's debatable. That's why you have the tournament.
Exactly.
And then Mr. Survivor Series, for the modern era is probably Randy Orton.
I mean, because remember we had Suplex City 12, Mr. 12-6, and then Vegas, all Lesnar. I mean, but
I don't give a shit about Vegas. Now 14 suplexes on Cena, I'm all for that.
12-6 on Orton. You care.
I do. So for two years in a row, he was that guy. So it puts you in similar conversation as Bret Hart. So yes, that's why that tournament has to happen. But
that's gonna be a good one, boy.
Yeah, right. And then with Bret Hart, you also add, Shawn Michaels' basically descent into Degeneration X, because you have the loogie that led to the chair shot that led to the 5th championship reign.
So
But we're not focused right now.
Yeah, we already know who's gonna win the match between HBK and Bret Hart. It's gonna be Bret Hart. We already know that.
More impactful title reigns. I would say Bret Hart again.
So there it is. Because
Bret Hart's wrestling pay-per-view main events. Shawn Michaels never did that as Intercontinental Champion.
So there it is right there. So Bret Hart advances to the next round.
Well, all right.
And then finally, to end this round here, the quarterfinal round, we have The Miz versus Razor Ramon. I can make this real easy and just say The Miz for all the reasons that we said earlier. Razor, to his credit, the biggest thing he had was the ladder match at WrestleMania, but we're talking in an arena, not in the stadium.
Yeah, but that arena's Madison Square Garden.
The world's most famous arena.
You feel me? And it's the 10-year anniversary of WrestleMania. So he has the better resume as Intercontinental Champion.
No. It's WrestleMania 10. That doesn't mean the 10-year anniversary.
It's the 10th. It's the 10th one.
It's the 10th. Okay, there you go.
Were they not doing them yearly?
They were, but that would not make it the 10-year anniversary. WrestleMania 11 would make it the 10-year anniversary.
Kiss my income.
That was the argument about WrestleMania 25. It was not the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania.
If you had been on Earth for 9 years and then on your 10th birthday comes up, how old are you?
They didn't have WrestleMania 0. They had WrestleMania, then WrestleMania 2.
Just saying, it's 10 of them.
We're born at 0. That's all I'm saying.
Do we ever count that?
No, that's the problem. That's exactly why I'm having this conversation. It's not counted. We're not born at like the day we hop out the womb. It ain't day one. If that's the case, you would be a year older than you are now. Fact or fiction?
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
Go to hell. So who?
Nah. You good? But at the 10th WrestleMania.
How we talking semantics? Go ahead. We all over the place.
No, I'm trying to find a way to keep Razor in this competition, but it's because of the number of title reigns. I think, does Razor have a more significant reign than Miz at any point? Probably not.
I mean,
he's got better matches as Intercontinental Champion.
I mean, you've got people who are Hall of Famers, and you, because not for nothing, no one knew Diesel was going to be a Hall of Famer. No one knew Diesel was going to become Kevin Nash, the NWO juggernaut.
Well, hell, no one knew he was the smartest motherfucker in the room
ever. No one ever knew that until it was too late. When it was too late, he was already dangerous.
But that's not his fault that we didn't know that. Like,
no. But that's what I'm saying. Like, because we're talking about just the stink on just this title itself. So we're talking like beating Jeff Jarrett and losing to Jarrett in 3 days. Beating Dean Douglas and losing to Goldust in 3 months.
So you kickstarted Goldust. You have a WrestleMania Classic as Intercontinental Champion under your belt, a SummerSlam Classic under your belt as Intercontinental Champion.
Miz had an entire run that was classic. Like just his mic work.
His mic work was classic. What match do you remember from that run?
Yeah, I mean, it was all
exactly. Exactly. That said it all. What match do you remember from that run?
Bringing back the luster of the IC belt. Does that mean anything in this?
I mean, he is Mr. Ouija. So.
All right, back up. Razor Ramon defeats Miz in a match for sure.
Of course,
for sure.
Razor Ramon, if you let him be Scott Hall, might cut a better promo than the Miz.
I mean, even Chico was good. Chico was a good promo.
No. I mean, if you put them both in center stage, center ring, Monday Night Raw, live mics. That's what I'm talking about. Like, just give them both free reign in their prime, live mics. Who's coming out on top?
Yeah, Scott Hall is definitely like he could do a survey and kill Miz. Shit. I just settled this debate.
What is the best ability?
Availability and reliability.
What is the second best ability?
That's it. Availability and reliability.
Right. So, and Razor didn't have these problems as Intercontinental Champion, but there were some issues as life continued to develop.
Well, no. So that didn't happen until after he left WWE.
This is exactly what I'm saying. However, the longevity and the ability to be placed in a position of influence as far as championships are concerned, The Miz has a little bit more stock, I guess. His name rings a few more bells in terms of can we trust this guy?
And he was a WrestleMania main event before he had more IC title reigns. So
a lot that goes with that. I'm gonna go ahead and take Miz. It's like I'm picking between children.
All right, so we have your semifinals. We have Curt Hennig versus the Honky Tonk Man and Bret Hart versus The Miz. Which one you want to go to first?
You said Curt Hennig versus the Honky Tonk Man and Bret Hart versus The Miz?
Yep.
We can go Bret Hart versus The Miz first. I'm taking Bret Hart.
I mean,
personal favorite, would win the match. More impactful reigns.
We're on the same page with that one. Like,
more influence on the title. As much as we love what Miz has been able to do with his career and how he was able to resurrect a title, Bret Hart elevated an already prestigious title. The reason we look at the Intercontinental title in the light that we do is because of that portion of history.
The Cinderella story ends in the final four, usually for most teams, and in this case, Miz, you are being sent packing. Curt Hennig versus the Honky Tonk Man.
Honky Tonk Man is the longest reigning champion of all time.
He's the longest reigning champion of all time. I'd be interested to know who all he defeated during that stretch.
Bruh, that's a mixtape. We're gonna Google that and put that on the back end of this.
Like I want to know who all Honky Tonk Man defeated between June the 2nd of 1987 on Superstars to SummerSlam of 88.
I bet you can find it. I bet.
All right.
I bet that list exists.
I mean, it's dope that Curt Hennig could defeat the Ultimate Warrior with a perfect plex to win the IC title. It's also dope that he could win it back from the person that beat him, which is the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich. Mm-hmm. But truth be told, if all things considered, Kerry should have even been in the equation here. I mean, they gave him a shot, but he should not have been in the equation here, considering the circumstances that were around him at that time. So, yeah, I'm giving it to Honky Tonk Man. I mean, God, Curt Hennig's 2 reigns don't combine for the Honky Tonk Man's 1, so it's amazing.
I will keep it 1,000. Like, when I think of the Intercontinental Championship, like the version of the belt that we like the most, Mr. Perfect is one of the first 3 people that comes to mind.
And that said, Honky Tonk Man versus
we'll holler at you.
Honky Tonk Man versus wait, what?
I'm talking about because Curt Hennig will holler at you.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Honky Tonk Man versus Bret Hart in the finals.
I'm taking Bret Hart.
I'm taking Bret Hart as well. This ain't even close.
Oh shit, son! In what some might consider an upset,
Bret Hart was definitely the underdog in terms of seeding, in terms of criteria. But if you're talking about the only claim to fame, the only dog you got in this show is the fact that you are a 454-day champion. And you had a hell of a reign during those 454 days. We want to see this list, but we can go back and just Wembley Stadium, 80,000 people in the early 90s.
Talk about it.
And the excellence of execution, the best there is, was, and ever will be. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest Intercontinental Champion, according to the Broken Pencil Book Company, Pro Wrestling Podcast and Radio Show infused with hip hop, Bret the Hitman Hart. We know you got smoke.
Splash with goat sauce.
We know you got smoke. Show at brokenpencilbc.com, brokenpencilbc@gmail.com. Suave, there's only one other thing to do at this point.
What it is, Shawty?
Pack them bags, take them to the house.
Pencil pushers. Heads up. Pencils down.
Whole lot of fucking gang shit.
That was fun.
It was.
That was fun. All right.
And then we ended up with 2 more tournaments.